welcome. Come on in. Come on in. I got a message for you on this Sunday. I got a quick message. Come on in. I hope everyone afternoon is going well. My afternoon is going well. It really is. It really is going well. First, I would like to give a shout out to Gifts by Gracie. She made these earrings for me and this necklace. I think this is so amazing. It's one of the young ladies who attend the church that I go to. She made these, out of the little soda tops. I think this is so cute. She has her own business, and she has a shop on Etsy. It's called Gifts by Gracie. If you would love to support her, I ask you to go on her page. I don't think she have any pictures up right now, but this is one of her this is some of her work, and it's Gifts by Gracie on Etsy. I love supporting young women and men who are, being creative, using their talents, because she reminded me so much of myself when I was younger. I was always selling and making something. And I think it's a blessing to see young people, take a leap off into entrepreneurship. I think that's very important. So I try to support those who are heading in that direction. So this is Gifts by Gracie. Okay. She has a little Etsy shop. So I would love for you all to support her. I think this is cute. I'm wearing this. I wore this to church. I did. And I received 2 compliments today. 2 compliments. And I did let her mom know that I received some compliments on her art. This is art. This is what you call creativity. So what I want to talk to you about is, allowing God to elevate you in his timing, right? There is a lot of people who I see that are seeking to have what I call fake blessings, right? We want to appear that we are blessed by accumulating things, by accumulating material things, and adding these things to us to make us look like we are successful, we are thriving. But on the inside and spiritually, a lot of people are so dead, right? You have dead people that are just tormented and just dead on the inside. They have no spiritual life. They're not healed in their spirit. So they tend to want to add things to them on their outside to make them look and appear as if they are successful, as if they are accomplished, right? And I remember growing up, and I never understood this, and God gave me revelation on this recently. That's why I'm bringing you all this message. I never understood, like when I was growing up, I used to have like people who were like friends who I was friends with, right? And on the surface, on the outside, you would think they should be happy and content with the things that they had, right? Because when you're younger, you don't understand spiritual things. If you're not taught spiritual things, you don't understand that, because people have material things. Because when you're younger, we were taught that if you have things and you have material things, and my connection is trying to go, but I'm gonna try to do this message as best as I could. But I never understood why some of the people who I was friends with will always seem to be jealous. And not saying that everybody's jealous of me or that I'm just some, I'm just some person to be envied. I don't operate in that type of energy, But this is to share the story and the revelation that I received, because you do have a lot of people who are jealous. They have not did the work on themselves, and they tend to be jealous of those people who just radiate and shine from within. But my point was, I never understood like how people could be jealous of someone who seemed not to have nothing, like the material things. But what I realized is those people are not jealous because of what I had, right? That like the material things. They were jealous because what was in me, right? How I was so content in my lack, how I was so content still in me not having what they had, but I still had joy, I still had peace, and I was still, radiating. I was just a little happy person. I was happy. I was a happy kid. Even in my abuse and the things that I've went through, in my mind, I was able to pull myself up and elevate myself out of my situation. I still was able to see things on the positive side. And to this day, I realize that is a skill, right? That is a gift that I have, to not look at my current circumstances. My current circumstances may be I don't have this, that, and the other. But what I do have, and I still have hope. I still can see the positive. I still know that where I am, or if I'm in a bad place, I understand that I won't be there forever. Right? I understand that it's temporary. Right? I understand that this is just a season. And I did not understand for the life of me. I'm like, how could you be jealous? What did I do? When you're a chosen one, you're always going to be misunderstood, and you're going to always have people try to figure you out, right? They always try to figure you out. They're going to always try to piece you together. They're always going to try to pick you apart. They're always going to try to find out about you behind your back, and they're going to realize sooner or later that who you used to be is not who you are. Because as a chosen one, we're forever changing. We are forever evolving. That's why if people don't want to evolve with us, or if they can't evolve with us and grow with us, we tend to leave those people behind. We tend to leave those people behind if they cannot evolve, because we're forever evolving. We are a growing people. Chosen ones are people who are planted, and they are forever growing. They are forever learning. They are forever healing. As the world changes, as their life changes, as their family situation changes, they adapt to their surroundings. They learn to adapt to the change. But I was talking about how people want to create these fake blessings. They want to add things to them to make them seem like they are successful. That's why you have a lot of people on social media who seems to have it all together. They're putting on this facade, and they're putting on this, because on social media you can create the life you want. You could show what you want and how you want your life to be, right? And that's why we be so baffled, and we be so taken back, aback by people who appear to always be smiling and doing the most on social media, and then come a few months later, these people have did something awful. They have, something happened, and we're like, oh, we just saw them doing this, that, and the other. No, people are not being real with themselves, because in order to be real with yourself, you have to have a relationship with God. You have to be real with God, right? You have to be real with God, and you have to know who you are. Hey, Keisha, you have to know who you are. And when you know who you are, there is no need to try to prove who you are not, or there's no need to try to prove who you are to man. Because people always want you to be trying to prove yourself to them for some reason. I don't know why people are like that, but I've experienced it, where they want you to prove that you are who you are. And the only person you should be trying to prove yourself to is God. And people don't like that, because they want to be God in your life. They want to be God in your life. They want to control you. They want to project on you, right? They want to project on you who they think you are. And you're nothing like that. A lot of people want to, project their insecurities, their lack of confidence, their lack of everything, right? They just want to project that onto you. They want to project that onto you. When people don't know who they are, right? And that's why people could have more than you. Look, people could have more things than you and still be jealous. They could still be jealous. They'll still be a hater. They have more education than you. They have more material things than you. More cars, more this, more that. And little old you, they still jealous and hating on. Because you have something they don't have. You have inner peace. You have inner peace. You know who you are. You are authentic. You are genuine. You're not pretending to be no one else. That's another thing people hate too. People hate when you can be yourself. They hate when you can be yourself around everybody. Anyone. You're not changing who you are. You are who you are regardless of who is there. Who is present. You move so effortlessly. Right? You move so smoothly. And you're not trying to pretend and be someone else. You're not trying to pretend. You are who you are. You are who you are. And people starts to envy that. When you are a genuine being. When you are, when you are yourself. They envy that. They don't like that. People, just something about people not liking folks for being who they are. It's just something about people who don't like when you are yourself. They want you to be someone else. They want you to be fake. They want you to be phony. They don't want you to be so good or so righteous or so honest or so authentic. People are so messed up nowadays. They want to find a flaw in you so they can feel good about themselves. Right? They want to find a flaw in you so they can feel good about themselves. They'll try to pick you apart. They'll try to find something, find some dirt on you, find something so they can feel good about themselves. That's an insecurity. That's an insecurity. Where you want to spend your time, take your energy just to pick someone else apart to make you feel good about yourself. You need to go work on that. And one of the most powerful things that I've learned, and it took me a little while to learn and to embrace and to walk in this. It took me a while. I'm not going to lie. It took me a while to learn this. The most powerful thing I've learned, and I've been standing on this thing for a minute now. I've learned to allow people to keep their issues. Because if people could drop and trauma dump, okay, if they could trauma dump, and if they can project their insecurities on you and you carry it, they will do it. I reject that foolishness. I used to carry people's stuff. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I used to carry people's stuff because I didn't have the information that I have now. I used to carry people's stuff and I used to carry it. I used to be a bag lady of other people's emotions. I felt responsible when they dropped their mess off on me. I did. Family and all. Family, children, friends, co-work. I used to feel responsible. And God had to heal me. He had to sit me down and tell me, listen, Linda. He didn't say that. I'm just adding my little spin to it. Say, listen, Linda. But listen, Linda, you need to get yourself together. He told me I need to get myself together and I need to heal myself and stop trying to be there for people when I need to be there for myself. I still had work to do on me, and I'm trying to be out there trying to be a little mini Jesus and save everybody else. Thank you, Keisha. Right? This the young lady at my church, she made this, and I told her I would support her, and I would, you know, put her information on my channel. So I told her it was so creative. She's very creative. She reminded me of myself. I put the information. The information is in the beginning of the video, but I'm gonna put her link here, so you can probably email her if you would like to request just to support her. You know, I try to support all the young people who are trying to start their entrepreneurship journey and be creative and use their talents. You know, we have to support the youth. We have to support these young men and women who are trying to do what's right, who are not trying to, you know, scheme and scam and get over and do all kind of craziness. Do something strange for a piece of change. So I try to support the youth, you know. But God was telling me I had to grow up, and I had to grow up and heal emotionally and be okay with setting boundaries. I had no boundaries. My boundaries was in the mud, okay? My boundaries was in, like, I didn't have no boundaries. I didn't have no boundaries because I was so broken, and I was so afraid to hurt people's feelings, and I just cared too much about other people, because when you haven't dealt with your traumas from childhood, that thing will follow you around, and you will be more concerned about other people than your own self. And that's why most of you all are battling with anxiety and depression and all of that, because you're not taking care of your emotional and mental health. It is okay to not be there for your family members when you need to be there for yourself. They need to turn to the one who created them. You didn't create them. You didn't create them. So that's what I had to learn. I had to learn to be okay with, you know what, I need me in this season. When I was going through a lot of changes in my life, right? I didn't have no one I could turn to. You know who I had to turn to? And only, and he taught me I was the only person he could that I could trust in this moment. And that was God. I had to press in and seek God and get to know him on a level that was just not surface, in order to heal and get through what it is I was going through. I couldn't run to no family. I couldn't run the family, and I had a good friend who I was able to not just lean on, that she would pray and cover for me, you know, during my time. But even that, she said, baby, she said, friend, sometimes you got to walk through things, and, you know, and she told me this, and it's so true, and I had to learn this with my children. She said, sometimes you can't stop people's process. I'm sorry to hear that, Lori. And she said, sometimes you can't stop people's process, because it's in the process where you get your deliverance, your healing, your revelation, your wisdom, right? It's in that process, and you got to open your eyes. He'll show you different things that you didn't see before. But instead of going through the process, we go to people. We want people to fill in the gaps and the voids and all that. We want people to save us, so to say. And God is the only one that could deliver us. He was the only one that could deliver me. I couldn't go to no family. I didn't have family that I could trust and that I could lean on and felt good, and without them talking, you know, talking about me and talking about what I was going through. I didn't have nobody I could lean on. I didn't have no one but the good Lord. Good Lord. They say the good Lord. But the good Lord. And my good friend, my best friend, God sent me a destiny friend, a destiny helper, and a friend. The only people, I couldn't call no one else. And I thank God because, you know, sometimes people, they be glad to hear and see that you're going through things. They be glad to hear and see that you're going through things, but they don't understand you going through things is not to break you down. God be using that, especially for the chosen ones. He be using that to build us up. When we go through things, it's not like everyone else. It's not like how people, when they go through things, it breaks them down. They lose their sense of self. They don't know if they're going or coming. No, the chosen ones, when we're going through things, that means he's going to elevate us spiritually. We're going on another level spiritually. He's doing something in us. Yes, Timothy. Tim. I'm going to call you Tim. Yes. He's taking us on another level. So when people hear what you've gone through and they see you and you don't look like what you went through, they looking all confused. They looking all perplexed and devastated because you ain't down on your luck. I never seen and understood why people could want to see someone and hope ill for them. Then when they see them and they don't look like what they've been through, okay? When they don't look like what they've been through, folks seem to be confused and upset because you ain't broke down, busted, and disgusted. Yeah. Hold on, you all. Yeah, because you ain't broke down, busted, and disgusted. God be wanting a good return on his investments. He want a good return. He ain't trying to let his chosen. Exactly. He's not trying to let his chosen be falling apart and broke down. He's going to prosper them. First, he's trying to get us to be prosperous spiritually, because a lot of us are asleep, right? We're asleep. I ain't gonna say were, because you know he's waking a lot of us up. But a lot of us were asleep, and we allowed the people around us to bring us down and keep us hostage, and that's why he had to supernaturally move some of you all. He had to move some of you all and move people out of your way, and you had to go through that you had to go through that shaking because you were putting too much of your time. You know, you were putting too much of your time into these people. You were putting too much of your time into them, and you couldn't do what God wanted you to do. He surely will, Lori. Exactly, Tim. It may look like for a minute. That's just the process. And people be sitting back waiting and hoping and praying, but they don't understand that God is taking you through a process, and he's imparting power and wisdom in you. So he's teaching you how to use your mouth to speak those things that are not as if they were. So if you're lacking in any area, you have the power now, right, to speak and command and get whatever it is that you're lacking. If you're homeless, guess what? You got to speak. Speak to that thing, and God will provide shelter. You got to be specific. If you don't have food, if you don't have this, and you don't have that. See, that's what he's taking the chosen ones through. He's taking them through to where they're going to be able to command certain things. And sooner or later, you're going to see a lot of that manifest quickly. And some of it is going to be immediately. But you have to get to a place of faith and a place of power to where you believe what it is that you say. Because, you know, we could go, you know, we had people in church for years just saying and going through the motions, and they are not really believing it. And now that word is about to come alive for a lot of people. Like, they're going to have a different type of faith. They're going to have a different type of faith to where whatever they say, good or bad, that's why a lot of times too, he'll take you through a place to where you don't speak on things jokingly, in a joking manner. I used to joke and jive all the time. Just, we saying crazy things, just having, joking and thinking it's funny. I don't too much say certain things anymore, because I know the power of words. Your words do not know if you're playing around or if you're joking or not. So it's a lot of things I don't even say. A lot of things I won't even speak on. A lot of things I don't even talk about anymore. Coming from a person who likes to talk, I realize I got to shut up sometimes. Be quiet sometimes. You don't have to speak on everything. You don't have to say something about everything. You don't have to agree or not agree. You can just be quiet. You could just be quiet. I could just be quiet. That's what I had to learn. I could just be quiet. I don't have to say nothing. Don't have to say anything. But I watch what I say. I don't say nothing I don't want to happen in my life. You know how we used to be joking and saying certain things? Oh, this is this and this. No, I don't joke about that stuff. I don't speak it. I don't no. Exactly, Tim. And it's true. And see, we say this stuff loosely, but we don't really think about it. And it really is. Life and death is in the tongue. And that's why a person could curse you and speak ill over you, especially like a parent or grandparent or grandmother or something like that. And that's why we have to go back and cancel all of that. That's why God told us, and what is that? I should know that, Isaiah 54:17. No weapon formed against us shall prosper. And every tongue that rises up against us, we shall condemn it. It says, ye shall condemn. So we got to come against the word curses and the curses people spoke over our lives. Unfortunately, it'd be your family that really speak negativity over you and ill and don't want you to prosper, don't want you to be who it is that God called you to be, because, you have that light on you, and they got the devil in them, and they're hateful and jealous, and they don't want to see you prosper. And unfortunately, some of you all experience that with your own parents, and it's sad. It's so sad. And that's the hardest thing to fight. And the enemy knows. That's why he attack you all so young and get all in your head and in your spirit, because he know that you're going to make a change in the world, but he had to use somebody who was close to you to stop you. And unfortunately, he'll use them parents. He'll use them children. He'll use that spouse. He'll use your grandparents to come against you, to speak against you, to speak and curse over you. Speak, some of y'all parents told y'all wasn't going to be anything. Some of your grandparents, some of your aunts and all that, they told y'all were not going to be anything, because they were not anything. They were jealous, and they saw that ambition in you. They saw that light over your head. They saw that light in you, and they knew you were going to be the one to change and do something different. And they want to stop you because they allowed the devil, the enemy, to use them. And they didn't do anything to you but spoke against your destiny. They spoke against your destiny. And you got to take back ownership and power. That's why some of you all still could remember what they said. It's been 40 and 50 years, and you still remember what your grandmother said. She's probably in her grave, turned over. She in that grave, turned over. Your mom gone and no longer here on earth with us. And you still could remember those words as if it was yesterday. As if it was yesterday, because it's a curse. It's a curse. They use their mouth to curse you, right? They use their mouth to curse and speak, and those words grabbed a hold of your destiny and smothered you, and is smothering you. And you got to speak back to those lies. You have to speak back to those lies. You got to, whatever they said to you that you wouldn't do, you got to speak the opposite. If they told you you were not going to be anything, you got to speak to that curse and say, I am going to be. Whatever it is you want to be, you speak to that thing. And that's how you do it. Yes, it may sound crazy in the beginning. It may feel funny because we're so programmed to speak negatively over ourselves. We're so programmed to speak any curse or negative. We'll say we stupid, or we're dumb, or we're this and that. We'll speak anything negative over ourselves with no problem. But when it comes to speaking positive things, oh, we feel awkward and weird and, oh, I don't want to say. No, you have to speak. You have to speak the opposite of what they said. They let the devil use them. Unfortunately, your mom and your dad and your grandparents, they had hell in them. As the old folks used to say when I was growing up, they got hell in them. Yes, they had hell in them, and they want to come against the child. You have to think about how powerful you are as a child, that an adult has to speak ill over you. That means that you were somebody. That means you are going to be somebody. That means you are somebody. You got to change the perspective. Excuse me. You got to change the perspective of how you see things. That's what gave me the strength and the ability to move past what people were saying. Because I'm like, I had people speaking ill of me, and they were not considering everything that I was dealing with. A mom who was on drugs, and, dad who was not there, and just barely just going through, life as a child. You can't blame a child for everything. They are going to be an environment of their surroundings. Right? They're going to be they're going to become a product, of their surroundings. So you can't really blame the child. And some people will blame the child, right? They'll really speak against the child. No. That's just like when little kids are racist and prejudiced. I don't look at them kids. I look at their parents. I say, I feel sorry. The parents is teaching them children this. They are learning this from their parents. So when I got an understanding of, I was just a product of my environment, and I did things and I thought and said things based on my environment, and I had people speaking against that, right? I had to understand they don't have the knowledge. So I can't get mad at them. They are broke, busted, and disgusted. So how am I going to stay mad at them when their life is in shambles and I'm a child, okay? I'm a child and they don't have nothing. And I see why they speaking against me, because I'm still in my youth and I have an opportunity to change the world. I have an opportunity to be something and become something, while they already older, broke down, busted, and disgusted, and they don't want to change. So yes, they're going to stop. They want to speak against me to stop me from changing. Stop me from doing things and breaking curses and being set free. That's how you have to look at it. You can't look at it as they against me, my family this, my family that. Some of your family members, they got hell in them. And you got to forgive them, and you got to move on and become who God told you to become. You got to do something different for your children. You got to do something different. You got to forgive them. You got to look at what you leaving behind. You can't sit there and be mad and moping, excuse me, and feeling bad. You got to look at the people who the curses. You got to look at the mouth of the people. Look at the people, right? Excuse me. Look at the people who are speaking this to you. Because half the people that's speaking against you, they broke down, busted, and disgusted. They don't have nothing. Look, they were already. We ain't gonna go there. Y'all get the point. Look at the fruit of the people who came against you. Look at the fruit of the people who spoke negatively of you and about you. Just look at it. Exactly. We got to stop being so, and that's why I tell people we got to heal, and we got to start looking at things from what it is, not what we want it to be. Because what we want it to be is we want to have a loving family, our family is we supposed to be together. See, they've been programming us, blood thicker than water, this, that, and the other. They programmed us, and they don't even live up to what they're saying. Exactly. They don't even live up to what they're saying. And so now you're conflicted in your spirit. You're conflicted because you feel like, oh, this is my family and they supposed to be doing this and that. No. God gave me a different revelation on family. Your family is just not blood. Your family is not blood. Your family just is not. Mm-mm. Your family is just, yeah. Exactly. And we don't know until we get new information. That's why you have to forgive yourself. You are only going to operate on the level of the knowledge that you have. You're going to move and behave based on the knowledge that you have. That's why it's good to read books. That's why it's good to, go on a personal development journey. It is good so you can get new information and get new wisdom and new revelation so you can move and navigate through situations easier. I knew I had to do something because I came from a traumatic upbringing. Yes, I came from a traumatic upbringing and a dysfunctional upbringing. So I knew eventually I'm gonna have to get new information. I have to learn what love really is. I have to learn different things so I can move differently. I need to move differently because some of us will sit there and go through depression, anxiety. We'll drive ourselves crazy, running behind people who are not running behind you, trying to stay close to people who slander and talk about you, trying to be around people who don't even like you. Some of y'all family hate y'all because y'all got that light on you, and they've been hating you since a child. I know I have been feeling it. I felt some of my relatives not liking me for no reason. No reason at all. Didn't do nothing to them. You walk around as a child, they looking like something stink. Like my girl say, Mom, why you got to say it like that? Well, they look like something that stink, okay? My kids say, Mommy, why y'all got to drag your words out? I'm a product of my environment, baby. I can't run from that. I grew up in the hood. Y'all suburban kids. We got different outlooks on life, different experiences, and that's okay. Your hood parents, raising suburban kids is different. And people don't understand. What did you do? You gotta have done something. Because if you don't get along with your family or you don't this or that, no, it ain't that. People just don't be like you because they don't understand you. You different. You think different. You don't see the world different. You don't believe what they believe. You got your own beliefs. They'll get mad about that because you got your own beliefs. You don't believe how they believe. You don't agree to what they believe. You don't move how they move. And people just hate it when you are not like them. Exactly. When you are free of being yourself. I suppressed who I really was for years. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. For years, I suppressed who I really was. I was afraid to just be me. I was afraid to be, corny or quirky or nerdy, and it's different facets of me. I'm a variety box. You don't know what you're gonna get. You don't know what you're going to get. But what you are going to get is genuine. And what you are going to get is a good heart. And, you know, I'm not out trying to destroy nobody. No, I wear many hats. Yeah, and ain't no two types of flavor in here. You're going to get a lot of flavors. It's just mysterious. And it was for years, I was afraid to be nerdy because I'm like, and sometimes you don't understand yourself. You don't understand why you so creative, and then you could be creative, then you're serious, then you're very spiritual, and then you're very funny and goofy, and then I'm like, girl, you just all kind of stuff. I mean, like you all kind of stuff, like you just be, right? And I wasn't, you know, I was afraid just to be all of that. Yes, I've been like that for a while, Timothy. I've been hilarious in school. That's just part of who I am. That's another thing. I'm like, girl, you're funny. You could be serious. You're deep. I'm like, just all kind of stuff. You know, you just a variety. You know, you just mysterious, child. You mysterious. Exactly. And I know people be looking at me like, trying to figure me out. Like, then she kind of act a little hood. Then I don't know, she professional at the same time. Then it's like they be trying to put a little piece of puzzle, and then I just break the little puzzle piece up. Oh, then I just break the little puzzle piece up because I've embraced who I am. I had to learn to embrace that. I had to learn to embrace that I'm very mysterious. I'm not gonna lie. I had to embrace the fact that I'm very mysterious. I'm gonna be honest. I'm like, girl, I'm like, girl, I see why people misunderstand you, because you 1 minute you could be, you could just adapt to any situation, like for real. For real. But what I can say, I'm gonna be honest, what I can say, just because I can adapt, I know, just because I say I can adapt, I'm still me. Now, I don't want y'all to get that twisted. Like, she just be changing herself. She be, what they call that thing, code switching. And I know I'm still me right here. I'm gonna be me. I'm going to be me, just like this. Oh, Lord. Sometimes you got to laugh, you know. You got to laugh at yourself. You got to laugh at yourself. But for years, I was kind of hiding, you know, even in school. Even in school, I could hang out with the kids from off the other side of the track, as they would say. Then I hang around with the nerds. My baby called me a hybrid. She said, Mama, you're a hybrid. You just good. I'm sorry, y'all. My baby said, Mama, you're a hybrid. You can blend in, you know. The girl hood and holy. Like, no, not hood and holy, but I'm just me, you know, just unique, and and it didn't take a person to understand who I am and what I do love about myself. Because I'm so mysterious, right? I'm so mysterious and unique, and just, you can't really pinpoint me. I allow people to be themselves. If you nerdy, if you know, loud, if you whatever you are, I can't come in trying to change who you are. That's just who you are. Because if you're trying to change me, you got a lot to change, and it's not going to work. If you're trying to change who I am, it's not going to work. Because I'm going to be honest, it's a lot to change. Because I just like people. I like for people to be themselves, you know, even if they are off the chart. Like, if they If some people are off the wall, I just sit there and listen and look. I don't be going in and try to change who people are, you know. I don't try to change who people are, you know. I let people be because that's how it's supposed to be. We're not supposed to be trying to control people and change them to who we want them to be. No, you go find out who you need to go find who is already how you want them to be. And that's what people do. They get in these relationships, they get with people, and then they try to change them into who they want them to be. It don't go like that. You can't change people. Let them change on them for themselves, you know. Let them change for themselves. Not because you are trying to change and force them, you know. That's what I believe. So, but you all, I thank you all for coming in, chit-chatting with me. That message is over. I am done with that one. But thank you all. Hold on. I feel like my nose trying to run. Me laughing so hard. Thank you all for coming in, listening to me, listening in. Oh, Tim, I don't think it's necessary to change anyone, you know. I don't think it's necessary to change anyone. I just think you're supposed to find out who, you know, you find out who people are first, you know. Find out if that's somebody you want to marry or be with, or, you know, you got to find out who they are first. And if it's somebody who you want to be with, then, hey, Mr. Green from Houston, Texas. I would love to visit Texas. I haven't visited Texas before. I haven't been to Texas ever. I would love to visit Texas. Yeah, you have to find out who people are. And if it's somebody that you see you could be with, you know, then you commit yourself to that person. But if that person is not working for you, you go ahead and move on. It's okay. Everybody's not meant for everybody. And that's another thing we have to learn. Like, you can't change people. You know, people are set in their ways. They have their ways and how they move and how they act. And you have to find somebody, right? Exactly, Tim. You have to, you know, and it'll come to you. Exactly. It'll come. And the thing is, I think people try to force a lot of things, and that messes balance. That messes the world up, and just the balance of life when you try to force things, force people, force relationships. No. I'll see you later, Tim. Thank you for tuning in. You can't be forcing things. Let it flow. Like my hair, let it flow. Let it flourish. That's my hair name. Flojo. So you gotta let it flow. But I appreciate you all for tuning in with me today. Listen, we got some things coming up. Okay, for on May 2nd. No, about May 2nd. August the 2nd. For the paid members for this group, we have a private group meeting. And in that meeting, that's on August 2nd, and the information is posted on the community page for the paid members. And that's the members who paid $2.99 to support the channel. I am doing something totally free for you all, where we are meeting on Zoom, and you get to ask any question that you would like to help you along your healing journey, right? If you need any advice, any coaching questions, this is the time to do that. You get to ask me one question, you know, to give everybody an opportunity to ask their question. So you get a chance to ask me a question, and I'll give you the best, help you also find your solution. Then on August the 9th, we are having our gratitude jar reveal. That information is coming soon to the community page, August the 9th. And then on August 16th, we're going to, I need to post that one because that is the paid class for Apple Mortgage Cake. We're going to watch that movie again like last month, but I'm opening that back up We're going to watch the movie Apple Mortgage Cake again. And we're going to have a 2-hour, excuse me, my sinuses are my allergies are trying to act up. Hold on. And there's like a drainage. Excuse me. So we're doing that on August the 16th, where we're going to watch Apple Mortgage Cake. And then we're going to have a 2-hour group discussion meeting about the movie. The last class was successful. I can say it was a success. Not as many people signed up as I would like, but I don't look at numbers like that. If one person signed up, it's a success to me. It's successful. Because that means that person needed, or they got what they needed from that class. Right? But for the people who signed up the last time, we went through it. We ended right at 2 hours. We went over like 5 minutes. You know, I try to respect your time because that is a lot of time to invest. But it was worth it. It was worth those $22. You know, it was worth those $22. So hopefully you all take advantage of one of those events that are coming up. You know, at least one. If you're not a supporting member of the channel, you still could become a member, and you will be able to take advantage of the and that's free. You're basically paying, I'm gonna say $2.99, because some people have been supporting the channel for a long time, and that money has added up, so they're getting their, you know, ROI, return on investment, right, for their healing journey. They're getting their money back, because you can ask whatever question you would like. That's August the 2nd. August the 9th, we're doing the gratitude jar reveal, where we are creating our own gratitude jars. And the 9th, on a Zoom meeting, we're going to discuss and talk about our gratitude jar. Why do we choose the colors? Why do we design it the way we did? Just anything you would like to talk about regarding your jar, right? And what types of affirmations or information you put on the papers in your jar. I'm excited about that. And then on the 16th, it's the paid class, $22.22. Yes, that's the paid class, and that's the paid group coaching session, rather. And we're going to watch the movie Apple Mortgage Cake, and then we're just going to talk. I have several questions that I have regarding the movie, and we're going to discuss those questions and just continue throughout the questions in the movie for like 2 hours, right? Everyone to get a chance to talk. I enjoyed the last one. The last class was good. So that'll give you an opportunity. If you didn't have a chance to join the last one, you can do it on August the 16th. Okay, so I have that information up as well. All of the information I'll try to pin to this video underneath it in the description, or I'll put it in the community page. I think I'm just stick with the community page so it can be housed in one area. I don't like to have information too many places. But thank you all for listening and tuning in. I hope to see you all later, and you all be blessed. But also, if you get a chance, go on Etsy and support Gifts by Gracie. Grace is one of my young church members, one of the young women that attend my church, who, let me see, who makes custom jewelry. So it's Gifts by Gracie Grace on Etsy, if you would love to support her. Now, her information I will put here. I will link her information underneath this video. Okay? So you all be blessed. Thank you for tuning in, and I will talk to you all later.